Are you ready for Disco Elysium? We are here. I'm mostly on time. Astonishing. I have just explained to folks that we're going to do a bit of a sponsored stream next stream where I'm just going to start off with a new microphone. We're going to talk about it, then we're going to play the game, and then we're going to talk about the microphone. But that's next week. It will be hopefully all right. Anybody who doesn't like that, I apologize, but I will explain my rationale at the time. Other than that, it's disco time. So pull out your disco ball and let's get going, shall we? I really should get a disco ball. I really should. I've been thinking about like a disco-y thing. Cause like not here, but like at home, my apartment, you can totally you can totally see what's behind my head. So if I had a little disco thingy, you could see it. It'd be great. I don't know that Disco Kim likes disco music. He's not the most disco-like of them. Hold on. I forgot. Bear with me just a second. My poor little laptop. Come on, little laptop. I'm sorry. I sent you to the wrong settings. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Okay, now Disco Elysium will no longer be stuttery. Okay. Or at least it should be fine. Did it smooth out? I think it did. So we have not... Oh, Chrono, do you really think I would be finished with the autopsy after a single stream? No, my friend. I'm afraid we cannot go to Martinaise just yet. Yes, so long story short, for anyone who needs a recap from last time, I had an idea of how I thought things were going to go, which was that we were going to go ask the largest racist in the game to go retrieve the dead body off the tree, and then we were going to turn in the dead body and then go have some adventures. However, this is Disco Elysium, and much to my chagrin, it turns out that poor little Ocelot has to do the autopsy with Kim as well. So, like, you know, that's an interesting choice that they set up. By making it be during the time that it is actually somewhat realistic that you could leave the body out and it's frozen outside. So it's not going to naturally decompose the way it would in a different season. So that's a smart decision on their part that I am sure was not accidental, if that makes sense. I don't think I can leave this here overnight. Now that it's down, I have concerns. So I think I kind of have to go through with it. Hello, Amorkel. Hello and welcome, everybody. I know folks want to go see Joyce, but... Oh! Thanks, Gibraltar. That's okay. I don't think any of us have disco balls this week. If you do, congratulations. You are discoer than me. Yeah, well, we can go talk to Joyce later. That's the thing is, I wanted us to do whatever this was, then go talk to Martinaise, and then go talk to Joyce once Kim is no longer in the party. Because that's what we're going to do. But the autopsy is taking a little bit longer than I expected, and I might have contributed to the length of time that the autopsy is taking to go through because I'm Lauren. And that's how I roll. Hey, you're here because you can tolerate that. So, of the entirety of the autopsy, I actually was really disgruntled with myself about one particular decision that I made that I wished I had made differently. And if it wouldn't involve going all the way through the entire thing again, I would actually consider loading and making one tiny, tiny little itty bitty tweak at the end. And that I didn't want Kim to think I was stepping on his toes, but it turns out Kim actually probably could have used me helping with the autopsy in those last couple of steps. And I don't feel right about that. It bothers me. I want to load, not for any of the rest of it, but for that specifically. And I don't know what that says about me, that I'm willing to accept so many of my decisions and the consequences that come with them. And then just arbitrarily, there'll be like one thing that bugs me. And I'm just like, this one won't stand. So I feel the need to state it out loud for the record that I suspect that I have overlooked something there. And I don't know how you folks feel about me loading and redoing that, or just letting it stand as I've done with so many of my other decisions. I'm sorry. I don't know why this one bugs me so much. Watch me go through the whole thing and like it doesn't do anything. Are we okay with that? You're welcome to think I'm ridiculous. And you're probably right. All right. Thank you. I felt really silly about it, but which one of these is it? I guess it's this probably. Thanks, TJ. Thank you. An autopsy. No. All right, is this the right save? Day 2, 2051. Oh, this is just me asking if this is, because I think that these were all after the conversation was over. Okay. Oh. Yeah. This is me grumbling to myself. Actually, though, that only took me like 2 hours. This does mean that my time thing will no longer be accurate because it won't have the 2 hours of Lauren talking. I'm slightly Oh, by the way, in case anyone doesn't know, instead of chat hat this time, we have Knoxbox on the head. It still rhymes. Chat hat, Knoxbox. I feel like any prop that I have is going to have a name like that. That just sounds, I don't know what that sounds like. All right, I'm gonna do this. I might turn the volume down a bit. The Ask It Basket. Oh my god, that's a good one, Adam. That's true, Jessen. Do you really want to load the saved game titled this? Yes. Okay. I'm gonna turn the volume down some because... Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Because I'm gonna be like talking over it some. Okay. Yeah, no, chat hat is not on in terms of like whether I should or shouldn't do this. Oh, there you go, Nick. There's a secret boss fight here to see if I can remember what I took last time. Choice-wise. Kuno Volts. Okay, I did this. Okay, here's the field autopsy, which took a very long time. Yes. I'm pretty sure last time I said, don't we have someone else for this? A doctor? I'm going to ask for clarification about honorary rank. And then... I think I said yes. Yeah, I turned the game audio very quiet. Yeah, no, I turned it down intentionally because I'm going to be talking over it. Once we start getting close to like the newer stuff that we haven't seen before, then I'm going to turn it back up. So it is intentionally. That's when I said I was turning it. That's why. That's my decision. So, okay. Hopefully that's all right with you. I think I said, yes, I feel like I'm a detective. Is that what I said last time? I don't remember. You are allowed to correct me whether I remember this or not. Like when I say I don't remember which one of these did I pick, you're allowed to tell me which one I did. We're just allowing that. If I don't ask, then perhaps we're testing my memory. Oh, man. I think I said yes, I feel like a detective. Okay. Okay, yes. Okay. I could steal the boots if I wanted to at this point. I could rewrite history, and Kim would never know. Yeah, oh yeah, I did. I did bleach my hair over the weekend. I was gonna dye it purple, but I've postponed that because I'm not quite ready to commit to that yet. Yes, the game is in fact quiet so that we can replay through a section that we've already played through. We will turn it back up when we get to new stuff, but this is so that I can ask folks. All right. I think I said first, what exactly is a field autopsy? Yes. Okay. Okay. What is field autopsy? You have no idea. Did I say, why don't you know what use are you? Did I talk to my brain this time? This is why, by the way, this is why the game is so quiet. Because I have to be able to talk over it. Oh my god, I'm going to be careful because it's going to be so tempting to pick different options here. It will be funny if we go through all of this and then it turns out there's no difference. I decided to be kind to myself. All right, well, we're going to go with that. Oh, that's right, the gloves. Okay. Oh, I wonder if it's because I'm not supposed to have these gloves to do this thing. Oh, it's so tempting to make actual changes. It's so tempting. Yeah, Volition tells me that he's using this as an excuse to spare me from having to do the hard work. That is hard. I mean, it would be less hygienic using my bare hands. But if I had my bare hands, then when I examine the dead dude's hands at the end, I'll be better able to actually notice things. Which is why we're doing this in the first place. This is why I can't go back and change the past. I'm just going to be caught in indecision and second guessing. Oh my god. If you think it is hard for me to make a decision the first time through, just imagine what would happen with the multiverse unfolding in front of me. To undo and redo at will, to speculate what is the right and proper path for the outcome I want to get. It is so tempting to be like, oh, sorry, I should probably take my gloves off and then try this again. Because that's what I would do. I think. I don't know. Oh my god, video game. Why? Why video game? Why am I like this? This is not the video game's fault. This is decidedly the Lauren's fault. This is why I don't let myself go back and take things again. Okay. Oh my god. An anime where a character goes back in time to min-max the outcome. That is... I mean, that's Groundhog Day. That's what he does in Groundhog Day. Okay, so I think I said, I don't know, what do you mean? And then I think Volition was like, he's trying to spare you. The game is very quiet. Yes, it's basically functionally muted. Because I don't want... I'm going to be talking over it until we get to the part that that we haven't played before. I think 2 is the option that I took last time. Okay. Yes, here's Volition. Got it. Oh, I got a skill point. Yay, look at all these skill points I have. And then the game rewarded me for having done something before. Okay. Open your ledger at the field autopsy form. I know that's what we do here. Yes. Okay, assistant. I'm going to put my name down. Because I have that option now and I didn't. I chose that last time. I know that. Coroner's case number. He's indexing it after himself. No, Lauren, you can't change the past too much. You're only going to change one small thing. No, go with the path that you chose. Go with the path that you chose. We are only deviating at the end. That is what I'm committing to. That is what I'm committing to. I'm going to write it down. Name. The future may refuse to change. I'm going to write 42. I remember that. Race. And he's like, I don't know, whitish. Sex. Oh, yeah, that's right. The children are gross. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to write the date down. All right. Oh, what did I pick this time? I think I picked, I'm not so sure, didn't the footprints look like he was carried over? I'm pretty sure that's what I chose last time, right? I'm sorry we're doing this. But I thought about going through and starting the game before. Okay, that is what I picked last time. All right, we're going to go with that. Oh, okay. Stations of the breath. Oh, yeah, that part was really cool. Oh, I asked what treatment was first. Okay, well, apparently I missed that. Hopefully that will not be a terrible butterfly effect. But I suppose if it is, that's what I get for changing things. Okay, we're going to do the external examination. All right. All right. Here we go. We are committing to not changing past Lauren's decisions except for at the very end. I think. All right, folks. Write it down. That's what I did last time. Actually, I think I had when am I going to get them? I think I asked that, yes. And then write it down. Okay. All right. I know I touched his hair. I tried to stroke his hair reassuringly and then decided that was actually going in gross direction, so I didn't do it. So maybe I will just not touch the hair. Because I made one small decision at the very end that I wasn't satisfied with, so we're going to redo this entire section of the conversation. I don't know. It may totally amount to nothing. There may be no difference whatsoever, which will be a lesson for Lauren, if that's the case. I guess I have to do what I did last time. We're going to stroke his hair gently, and then we're going to write it down. Okay. Okay. I'm going to write it down. Alright, I'm not going to be weird about the chain cutters. I wonder if you pet the chain cutters, if you do better with them because you bond with the tool. This game could do that to you, but I'm not going to do that. I picked the one that wasn't petting the chain cutters because that's weird. Alright. I'm gonna look for a good spot to cut, I think. I think that's what I did last time. I think I ignored the child. Alright, are you ready to refill this chuck? Alright, let's do it. Alright. What did I pick last time? I think... Did I swear? I think I swore so that Kim would know something was wrong. Yes, I have noodle arms. It would have been hilarious to crit success there. Well, in that case, fate would have approved of me making a decision. Apparently. All right. I'm pretty sure I swore to get Kim's attention. Is that correct? Yeah. Yes. Yeah, 3, then 2. Summon power words to your aid. Yes. He is trying to defend me. It is after this that he loses it a bit. And I think that is when I should step up. Let's see what happens. Okay. Let's let him work. He sounds so calm as he talks about this. All right, children. Okay, I asked about this enjoying. And then, yes, processing science, that's what I meant. Write it. Okay, I will write it down, add the semen sample. Okay. This scarring is extensive, way more than a law official's. And I think this is getting to where we are trying to loop to a change.
Last item. Hands.
We made it. Here we go. Okay, that just took a couple of minutes. Okay. He takes the man's right hand in his, inspects it, then moves on to the other hand. I'm going to pick up the hand here. We will see if anything changes. The moment of truth.
His flesh is cold, icy.
All right, this is going to do nothing.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you from and what's your name?
Can you hear that now? Because I turned the volume up. I did not expect... Okay! Okay. Well... Yeah, unfortunately the lag is probably a bit inevitable just because I'm not playing on my home setup now, so it no longer will deliver it to you exactly as it delivers it to my ears. I can turn it up some. We can all suffer together. I can turn it down a little bit in my own ears. Oh, man. Okay. I gotta say... This is not the direction that I thought it was going to go if it made a difference. But it went in a direction. Inland Empire is here. Could somebody get the bot? We got a bot. If you could please, if there's a mod handy. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it. Hey, maybe that means we've got enough folks here to attract bots. Yeah, that's how you know you've leveled up. I know it happens periodically. Yes, the only bot allowed around here is blues. And I think that there's a difference between a bot and a Reploid, I'm just saying. All right. So now I have to actually interact with the dead body. I'm talking to the dead body. The dead body's talking to me. And Inland Empire's having a time. Okay. My name is... Watch me take psychic damage for saying my name.
I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. From Cappadocia. And your name is Il Corbo. What can I do you for, Il Corbo de Cappadocia?
I feel like this could get really really uncomfortable really fast. I don't know that I want to go there. Like, my general policy is often when I can tell that I have an option because the option was unlocked by something that I did earlier, I tend to take that option. But I don't know if I want to do that. So I was really confused about the location until I heard him say it out loud, and I was like, oh, Capo, got it, Capo. I don't know if the name that... I don't know if this is a thing in a language that I don't speak. The something. But I assume it's... If it is a real word, it's probably not flattering. I don't think I want this. Okay, well, how's this? I strokes the hair to be a reassuring and calming, to be like, it's okay, poor dead guy, we're here to take care of business because I'm Lauren. And that's how I roll. And if I were to be like, did it make you feel any better when I stroked your hair? It would be not creepy or gross. However, the game made it feel like that was going creepy and gross. And, did you like it when I did like that? Just sounds like they're gonna go someplace creepy or gross with it. I know I'm not saying it out loud, but I'm trying to keep myself from being too uncomfortable and playing a game that's a little bit uncomfortable. That's all. Oh man. Okay. All right. Ugh. I have to make a decision here. I can either say, it's good to hold your hands. Did you like it when I stroked your hair? Or nothing. I got nothing. Maybe the game will surprise me and I'm on edge too much. And it's not going to be like you're being a gross creeper in this line. I just am nervous because I can't tell. It's really uncomfortable to not be able to tell. I really hate the feeling. It is so deeply uncomfortable to not be able to predict how people are going to react to things or what they're trying to say or whether they're joking or not. It sends me right back to being a kid, which is just not fun. Since this is what we reloaded for, if you want chat hat for the intent of the line, that'd be reasonable. Okay. Yeah, I might, since we reloaded this, because I don't want to pick a thing and have it be like, we're going to make lewd sexual innuendos or something that's really unsettling and weird and uncomfortable that makes you feel bad about that. So, how do I want to phrase that? Here's my very cool chat hat. Chat hat placeholder. It's the coolest. The absolute coolest of all. How do I phrase this? Like, I want to say, like, will I regret picking number one? That's what I want to say. I don't know if you can read my mind. But having voiced my concerns, yeah, we'll go with that. Is it a Minecraft version of the hat? Maybe it is. It is a block. I will not regret picking number one. The game may contain Kuno, but it is not Kuno. That, I think, is what I'm getting at, Justin. The game has this stuff that makes me feel really uncomfortable and bothers me. And because they've sprung that on me a few times when I was not trying to be gross, now I'm like scared of sticking my foot into a pile of dog poop without meaning to. I can't like acclimate to the point of understanding, but you can train me to be cautious. It's good to hold your hand. Did you like it when I stroked your hair?
I did, Kobo. I did. Reminded me of when I was just a small boy. Before this happened to my face and my body. You did me a kindness there.
Oh. That's literally what I was going for when I did it. I don't understand you, video game. But I'm not displeased now.
We should do this more often. Be close like this, I mean.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling.
The lieutenant concludes. The dead man's fingers slip from your hand, cold and sausage-like. I guess so. I don't know. There are some things that I can trust this game on and some things that I can't. And I cannot tell a lot of times what is about to happen, whether it's going to go in one of the places where I can... It's like I'm walking through the marsh in Zork without a stick, and I can't tell if it's safe to put my foot down or not. And I know that sometimes it is, and sometimes the writers and I get each other. But then, like, I'll do something completely, like, innocent intent, and the game will be like, that's a creepy, weird thing to do, or gross, or bad, or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay, that had not occurred to me, but I guess I'm just not aligned with you. Yeah. Okay, well, that was actually kind of sweet. I'm glad we did that. I'm glad we reset the load to do that. And have that moment of humanity in which the game A confirms that it knew why I was doing that. And B, that's Harry talking to himself. That's Ocelot talking to himself. Giving voice to... I think... operating under the assumption that the voice from the Hanged Man, like the voices we hear elsewhere, is simply an expression of Ocelot's mind, then I think that we can say that this is Ocelot wishing that somebody would hold his hand and stroke his hair if he was in a desperate situation, even if he died, that somebody would treat him with kindness in death, if not in life. I think we can say that is why he would do it. Then that's why he thinks of it, because that's something that he would think about, I think. And again, like I said last time, I think it's really interesting how it comes across that perhaps he was a good man who got really broken by what he had to do and the system that he was in. And so there's still some of that goodness and softness and sensitivity inside of him. It's a really interesting choice for a main character. Really interesting choice for a main character. And I could just go off on that, but I'll spare you because I think I partially did that last week, and I'm sure there will be more opportunities to talk about it now. But I like that moment of sweetness. Were we expecting any?
I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment.
Working so close to the fumes coming from the corpse must be hard. You realize suddenly that the lieutenant has been barely keeping it together these past 2 items.
Okay, so the past 2 items... Okay, so I could have probably stepped into one more item before that, which I think was looking down his pants. But that... I feel like Kim had that moving as quickly as he could for a reason because of these children, which is funny because, like, maybe it would be good to investigate things a little more closely, but the children are a problem, and you want to get away from here and whatever they have to say as much as possible. All right, write it down.
Ooh. That's All for the external. Well done. What next?
Let us leave. We're going to save. And then we're going to do the rest of these, right? All right. Well, I'm going to take that save. I'm going to take that save. And now we're caught up. Well done, folks. I feel like that was true to my playthrough, and I can live with that. Probably could have noticed something better if I had relieved. Like, it's possible that if I had done the cutting so that Kim didn't have to, he might have been in better shape to observe things. Who knows? But I got something out of that I actually really like. And I'm glad we did it. So thank you for indulging me. My gut just said that was what I needed to do. I thought it was so that I could get information. But it definitely feels like there's something that I'd missed out on. Like the way it's phrased. So I'm really glad that I got that moment. Yes, that moment of humanity. Alright, so we've saved. Let us briefly take a look and see here. Perform field autopsy. The hanged man is down. Perform a closer inspection of his body, arriving at cause of death. This will need a form to be filled in 3 parts. And then I leveled up. Did I put points in anything last time? I don't remember. I thought about it. I know I thought about it. But I don't think I did. Did I? I think I was going to put points in... Did I put points in one of these? I feel like I did. What did I put points in? Was it physical instrument? I did not. I thought about it and then I decided against it because I am not a muscle man, a bare-knuckled brawler origin feature. Was it reaction speed? No, I didn't put more points in reaction speed, but I have put points. Okay, I did think about physical instrument and then I didn't do it. Okay. Yeah, I think you can tell, like, by looking at, like, how little attention I paid to most of these, but then, like, there's, like, shivers and reaction speed are the only 2 here that I'm like, yeah, those, I could use those. Let's go with that. I think that says something about me. I want to talk about things and have feelings. Yeah. Maybe I should put another point in volition. Volition's really good. At high level, it's a party pooper. I mean, I'm kind of a party pooper. Except when my Inland Empire is going crazy. Otherwise, I'm totally a party pooper, so it would be very in character. Alright. So I think we're good for now. Shall we continue this? You guys ready? Shall we continue poking around at the dead body I saved?
The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes looking straight through you. Bits of cargo belt lie on the ground around him. His body is supine and open to intrusion by autopsy.
Yeah, Galactic Punter, I'm pretty sure that was one of the moments that I was very lucky with my dice roll. Intrusion by autopsy. Cool.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Internal examination summary. This is the worst part, maybe.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
The fact that he asks me is... I really do appreciate Kim has respect for Ocelot as a cop.
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
Conceptualization, I don't think that's what he wants. However, do I indulge in my incredibly obnoxious... Okay. That's a self-own, Lauren. Do I indulge my obnoxious... I mean, I do. The thing is, like, yes, I do indulge my obnoxiously self-indulgent, introspective, navel-gazing, tangential thoughts all the time. Fine, Disco Elysium. You win this round. Does that count as drama? Is that Lauren's drama? Let's find out. If I might add the moral of the story, Kim's gonna be like, oh my god. I'm like, sorry, Kim, but Ocelot is being driven by me. And he's allowed to have a Lauren moment. For better or for worse. Ocelot's gonna go golfing. Yes, he is. That is absolutely what is happening. Why am I like this, folks? For anyone who doesn't remember, mini golfing is when I speculate about what's going on or what's going to happen or what the mystery is or whatever crazy house of cards I'm building at any given time. Because we mix metaphors around here. Alright, Ocelot, I'll indulge you this once.
What would that be?
He looks at you inquisitively. Oh man, conceptualization. Are you gonna make me come up with this? Excellent.
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. That's really funny. That's really funny. This is really funny. The brain is very vulnerable to compromises in its blood supply. That's the moral of the story. Good moral. Let's do this. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? As I know from first-hand experience, if you cut off the reliable oxygen supply to your brain, bad things happen. Do you know how many times I have said in the past couple of months? So as it turns out, your brain needs oxygen to function. Do you have any idea how many times I've said that? Too many times. That's like one of the lines that gets paraded out whenever I tell the story of what's wrong with Lauren. Anyway, the moral of the story is that make sure you get enough iron. And if you are having issues such as memory loss, fatigue, hair falling out, etc., 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 have your doctor run a blood test that checks your ferritin levels, among other things. Oh man, stand up really quickly so you feel faint. But that's always been my case. That's like, I just have really bad blood pressure to begin with. I can't give blood, it's a problem. The game is, yes, look at this. We are on the same page. Me and Ocelot. Yeah. Brain damage due to lack of oxygen to the brain. Don't do that. It's not recommended. Especially not to the extreme of this dude. So we will share our wisdom. The brain is very vulnerable to compromises in its blood supply. And then you have to nod at your own brilliance. That's how this line is delivered. Being a gasp thud. I have actually never passed out from standing up too fast, but my sister has, and I've come close. So if you ever happen to be hanging out with me in person and I've been like down and then I stand up and then I grab the wall, that's what's happening. Oh, yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. I hope your friend got some support and got through that okay. That's difficult. All right. Yes, easily knows this wisdom. This is how it is. All right. The brain is very vulnerable to compromises in its blood supply. Words.
I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer.
The lieutenant grins. Okay, so it's possible maybe Ocelot is actually joking around a little bit here. I wonder if you could have had other morals of the story, but I'll take that one. All right, NA.
Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hairy bone. Let's see.
There's something really satisfying if you can get Kim to laugh. Like, I have picked answers thinking maybe they'll get Kim to laugh. They don't always work, but it's so rewarding when he does. Okay. He gets close to the mouth hole, eyes squinting from the stench. I don't know what a hyoid bone is. I have no idea what that is. Nose bone. Oh, the nose bone's connected to the skull bone. Anyway, spare you that. I don't think that's in the song. This is why you come around here, because you never know what ridiculous thing is going to happen.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous.
Yeah, your nose is made of cartilage. I thought there might be like a bone like around there. I don't know. I don't approve of this. Well, it is in the title of the stream. There's an autopsy going on. Yum, yum, yum. Your ears have bones in them, and that's what makes you a mammal. That's the kind of random factoid that I enjoy learning while streaming. Thank you. Irvine Welsh. I don't know that I've ever read an Irvine Welsh book, but I'm not a huge fan of detailed gore. Oh, deviated septums. I have heard about that. Train Spotting. Okay, no, I have not read or watched Train Spotting. That's a movie, right? I think my dad likes it. My dad and I do not have the same taste. My dad is the reason why I know I don't like watching movies where people's fingers get cut off. He really likes mob movies. A lot. Anyway, this is gross. He's checking the throat.
Yeah, jack that fucker off.
Okay, I think that this is meant to be jarring absurdity that makes you laugh. Because, what, kid, what? Oh, I actually don't know what the technical definition of factoid is. I thought it was just like a little fact. But I could learn language. Please enlighten me. Did factoid originally mean a false statement that through incorrect usage over time by people assuming because it sounds like fact that it is synonymous with fact has in fact transformed its meaning to become synonymous with fact? Or am I just wrong? Factlet. Oh, I like that. That's like a little fact. Factlet. Oh, man. I'm so excited. I am so excited. A, I'm excited because I learned something. B, I'm excited because contextually I had the pieces to guess about what you were going to say etymologically, and I was right. That is fascinating. The dictionary helpfully has definition 1 as a fact that isn't true, and 2 as a fact that is true. That's incredible. Okay, yeah, so like android is a false man, is the, if you etymologically break it down. Okay. That's fascinating. Norman Mailer. I know that name. Why do I know that name? Who was that? All right, Colonel, let's hear it. What is something silly about androids that bugs you? Sorry. Rhetoric has come out to play. Mixed with a little encyclopedia. Exactly like I like it. Oh, no. Okay, look, Marvel Comics names are not... There are works of fiction with names that reference things that you can learn what those things are based on the way the names are written. I don't think that Marvel Comics names are one of those. The Mandroid would be a great pro wrestling name. That's true. I would like to see the Mandroid go toe-to-toe with what's... Stephanie Starling. I feel like that should be one of Stephanie Starling's, like, nemesis. You know? I don't know. I don't really follow wrestling. Hey, by the way, if anybody likes wrestling and sword fighting, a friend of mine in California is putting on a show, not this weekend, but next weekend, that is live and in person. I don't remember what part of California he's in. But it's basically pro wrestling except sword fighting. Like stage fighting with swords. So you should go to that. If you're interested in that, I can try to share information about it. But, right? Doesn't that sound interesting? I'm excited about it. Okay. Yeah, I'm not in California either, so I can't do it. So I'm just letting folks know. So maybe somebody will go and yell. I want you to go and yell really loudly in the audience. That's what I want. That's what I would do. Anyway, back to the game. Kunaras is providing a departure from the grossness. This is definitely meant to be something that makes you laugh whether it's funny or not. It's like pressure that causes your discomfort and tension to overflow, much as the purge fluid is overflowing under the pressure of Kim's touch. I'm sorry. Aren't you glad I'm here? I'll be here all night.
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable.
He says this after a while. He has to deal with the grossness of it and also the difficulty of the child. It's fractured. I mean, you would assume that the throat would be fractured if he got hanged. But I suppose we're trying to figure out what the timeline of this is. Write it down.
Respiratory system.
Back hunched as if in prayer, he begins to pry open the dead man's jaws. He stops to exert more force. Both hands are used. I should have helped him. Yes, we've gotten to the fact that it's the neck. So it's interesting, the back hunched as if in prayer. Do people hunch when they pray? Is that a thing? I don't know. Is that a thing? Is that what you think of if somebody's back is hunched? Like, I guess that's shoulders up, leaning forward. I mean, it's one of those things that, like, clearly they want you to read into it a certain way. But I don't have the, okay. Okay. I guess I just don't think about that. Maybe so. Like, kneeling and bowing your head. Oh, I think I'm probably picturing the hunched back incorrectly. I have lived my entire life in the absence of prayer. Of any sort. So I don't really have a frame of reference for this, except having seen, like, people do it. But I haven't really thought too hard about it. So, this is actually really interesting because if you write about something that you have no firsthand experience with, but many other people do, there are certain inconsequential seeming details that you might leave out, or that you might do something that contradicts, that you have no frame of reference to know that you have done something wrong. But a person who has familiarity with it will immediately sense that something's off. Apparently, you can describe the physical actions of prayer, and I have no idea. That's interesting. I hadn't even thought about that until just now. Okay. Yeah, Blues, this is going to be an unappetizing part of the game. Just to warn you. Yes, men writing women, but also like things like a hobby that is not yours. Like I read okay, so Ursula Vernon's characters always have special interests. That's just how she is, and therefore how she writes. But she wrote a book about a baker, and there were just a small handful of details that just didn't work. That's just not what baking does, or that's the wrong word, or something's just a little off. Because I bake a lot. I'm not a professional or anything, but I'm a very, very enthusiastic enthusiast. And it just bugged me. It's just like, it's not quite right. And then the acknowledgement, she's like, yes, I'm not a baker, but I tried. And I was like, oh, okay, well, you came pretty close. So I don't know, just those things. I'm going off on a tangent here. Anyway, I'm sorry, Kim. Here we go.
Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received a dental implant, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
It's interesting that he can tell dental implants, because at least in our world, a well done implant is not noticeable, except that like the tooth may be brighter in color. So in fact, some I guess oral surgeons will dye the implant to match the color of the teeth around it, so that it doesn't stand out like that. So I'm not quite sure how he can tell dental implants, but probably dental implants are different in their world than they are in our modern society. I know this. I used to be married to someone who got a dental implant during the time that we were together, so I'm very familiar with that process, including the harvesting of bone from the jaw to place into the part of the gum area where the bone had receded due to not having a bone, or not having a tooth there for an extended period of time. Fun stuff. And yes, harvesting is the word that they use. Look at me. I'm teaching you all sorts of pleasant things you are thrilled to have. I did pass out at one point when I was taking care of my ex. After that surgery, I was stressed out. He passed out up there, then I passed out. I'm helpful. I'm very helpful. All right. I'm talking about other stuff partly because this is really intense and gross, and I don't want to get too pulled down into it, you know.
From here, it looks as though the clown-faced man is screaming. The tendons of his jaw are torn apart. Hyoid, ripped from the force of the lieutenant's hands.
Then Inland Empire is here to try to make sure that I am paying attention. All right, Inland Empire. Noted. It looks as though the clown-faced man is screaming. It is so expressively written in such a horrifying way. We may regret this. Let us look inside the dead man's mouth.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again, straight in that mouth of his.
I feel like looking deeper inside, I would throw up on him, and I don't think that's a good idea. So I think we're going to not do that. We'll write it down.
Hepatobiliary, NA.
I have no idea what that means. He wipes his brow. Why? Don't we have anything?
Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
He looks at the corpse's stomach with a mixture of tiredness and disgust. I don't think so, I'm going to say.
Neither am I.
And that's it.
That's it.
Oh. Oh boy. Oh boy. We're going to just not open up his guts or know about his guts because that requires a specialist. All right. Okay. Chrono has Googled that and tells us that refers to the liver. All right, let's write NA.
Same for toxicology and serology. NA.
Both? I don't know that we can tell toxicology. I don't know what serology is.
Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there.
I know about drugs.
Reservoirs? No, but do they take obscure trivia and odd tidbits?
I have some really good options here. Would obscure tidbits and odd trivia fit the fields? No. Or the completionist in me wonders if there's something we can still do. Or I could just write NA. I don't think I should put obscure. Wait, hold on. Wait. Rhetoric/encyclopedia. Do we have any Brits in the audience who can confirm that you say titbit? Because in American English, it's tidbit. And that's actually a D, not a T that we pronounce like a D. I need to know. Factlets would definitely count as obscure tidbits and odd trivia. But it's written that way twice, Jessen. And it sounds like I think he pronounced it that way. But it's, you see, it's spelled that way. Titbits is the plural of tidbit? That doesn't make any sense. It could be the case, but it doesn't make any sense to me. Fascinating. Okay, Scottish. That's, I mean, you're over in the part of the world, at least, that at least it's not American English. So, fascinating stuff, man. Look, I just really like words. A lot. Plurals can be weird. That's why I was saying, like, it could happen. It could happen, but it could also be like AI writing nonsense as our Google search results. Yay! The completionist me wonders if there's something we could still do.
We already have one test as per regulation, and we already requested semen.
Oh. I actually think that toxicology is probably more important.
Pigs requested semen like it's no big deal.
Thanks, Kuno.
I'm not even interested in his boring mulkus anymore. I haven't sucked him off or anything.
Okay, Google says it's the non-American spelling. Okay. Of course, the American spellings have spread because we make a lot of entertainment media things. Oh man, I feel like changing it to toxicology would be smarter. I don't even remember where the semen idea came from. I just was like, that's a thing that I'm pretty sure that Ocelot talked about. Yeah, we didn't pick that choice. Let's see. Gut hunch. Overthinking Lauren. Overthinking Lauren is going to say that what insight would either give us toxicology would let us know if there were drugs in his system, right? Whereas I don't know that the other thing... Like, this is the thing, is that the other thing could have just been, like, a thing that was, oh, that's clearly a joke because Ocelot's a weirdo, you know? I feel like toxicology would be a better choice. We only get one test per regulation. I feel like toxicology sounds like a better choice for a man's murdering. Because otherwise, like, if we find out that he was... Because, like... I don't know exactly how that would work. Or what we could learn if it turns out that he was having a... excitement. Yeah, no, they're definitely short on resources, and that is clear. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think through, Dale Diamond. That's what I'm trying to overthink. I'm sorry, you're stuck with me overthinking everything. Like, because the thing is, like, if he died while being excited, then presumably he didn't die being tied onto the tree. Presumably. Strange things can happen. But that is one possibility. If he was drugged or poisoned, then whatever specific drug or poison they used could give us an indication of possibly, like, oh, we found a bottle of that somewhere, or oh, that's one of the drugs that gets smuggled in or out of something, or that's a really hard to come by drug, or maybe he'd been drinking with people, or maybe somebody slipped something into his drink, because that's what that one is usually used for. And then you can kind of wonder, like, okay, well, it was the scenario leading up to his death. You know, is this something that was injected into him? Is this something that might have been slipped into a drink so he didn't know that was happening? There's all these things potentially that you could figure out. I don't actually know if it's realistic to be able to figure things like that out. But whereas, like, I really think, like, if it was that he was, like, aroused at the time of death, that would, like I said, that would indicate that he died before he was hung up. And either taken from a situation in which he didn't anticipate trouble, or a whole scenario. Like, I can paint in my head a whole bunch of different scenarios we could try to get based on what we found. I think that toxicology, if you find something in toxicology, it's probably a little easier to construct a story and a little easier to tie things together. Whereas the other thing would mostly just be like, okay, he didn't die in this scenario. Because that's part of the question that we asked, right? Is, was he dead before he got hung up there or not? I don't know. There's too many choices about small things. I'm going to change it to toxicology.
At a request, then, we'll know if drugs or poisons remain in his blood. At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if he was brimming with it.
Oh, well, never mind. That wouldn't actually do anything. Right, NA and add toxicology requested.
Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with a hanging.
Couldn't you have mentioned that you didn't think that the toxicology would do anything before I wrote it down? Oh my god, Kim! I don't want to have to load this and redo it again. Doesn't matter. I mean, probably it's neither of those. Probably you won't find anything. It does feel like a trap. Like, that's not very nice.
Gastrointestinal.
He breathes a sigh of approaching relief. This is the last field on the list. He looks around, to the ground, the pool of feces there. Hi, Phil. You're in for a treat. We're still going through an autopsy.
This will do.
Alright, logic.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
He touches the corpse's bloated lower abdomen briefly. Is that the British spelling? And then we took out the letter that doesn't get pronounced, because that's what happened with American spellings. That's not how anyone says it, so why do you spell it that way? Let's change it to be more... Okay, write it down. I can either omit the voila or keep the voila. I'm gonna omit it, because that seems appropriate.
What's next on the list?
I'm so grumpy about that. Why would they do that? Why would they set it up like a gotcha? I don't understand. Like, it's fine if they say, oh, well, it's ambiguous. It could go either way. But to be like, do you want to pick this thing? And then you're like, sure. And then they're like, well, that's okay. Probably won't do anything anyway. And I'm like, oh, okay. Fine. Good night, Mad Hatter. Thanks for joining. I hope you have a good night's sleep. With what's left of the night, I suppose. It's part of why we did not delay this. You'd think Galactic Punter, but I don't actually know how this game does that. Maybe he was just being annoyed. I don't know. Maybe he's like, why are you being so fussy? Don't you know we can only take one or the other? And frankly, there is also a certain degree of nihilism, I think, that people develop in a hopeless system where they can't get anywhere. Where it's like, it's probably not going to amount to anything anyway. We're doing this because this has to get done and it's the best we can do, but it's also probably not going to work. All right. I suppose we should save and try again with the next set. Just to try to make life a little bit easier, we're going to do multiple saves. All right. Shall we go ahead, dive back into this? You know, it could be Kim's opinion. No, that's true. But it's a bit frustrating, that's all. I'm sorry, I can't seem to stay in my frame, so you just have to deal with me, like, mostly not being in the frame. Shall we keep going with the autopsy?
Yes?
Oh, that's not right. Oops, that's the wrong button. I didn't mean to hit Kim again, sorry. Oh, I have to put more points into Inland Empire to do the sexy mystery. Maybe we won't do that. All right.
The rotting man lies on his... The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
I thought I was going to sneeze, but I yawned instead. Description of injuries, summary. And we may not get results for any of that. I think it may be that it just feels like it's there to reinforce the hopelessness of even trying in some ways. Description of injuries, summary.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
Okay.
Be thorough if you want maximum results.
Thank you, reaction speed. I'm glad you're here. What about the injuries we have inflicted?
Oh, so we inflicted them?
shot went wild, right? He looks incredulous. His shot just went out, not where it was supposed to go, or in the body. I'm the one who shot the body in the gut. Right? I will own this one. Okay. I have inflicted. I can be the bigger person than I was 2 seconds ago. Okay, I have inflicted.
Okay, so there's a spin-stabilized munition from a Kiel A990 muzzleloader lodged in his lung.
Okay, continue.
And an incision on the thorax from a chain cutter. I wouldn't mention those. Better not to muddy the waters.
That's amazing. So I can either say, I agree, the waters are muddy enough, or, but isn't that sloppy? Or I can keep it minimal. So, back to injuries. Well, okay, there is no right answer here, so I'd have to ask myself, what kind of cop do I want to be? We all know. We all know what kind of a cop I am. Let's be real. This is the option I have to choose. I have no choice. But isn't that sloppy?
Be pedantic if you like, it doesn't matter. No one else is going to investigate this man's murder. And if they do, such details would only confuse them.
It doesn't matter because nobody else is going to look into it or confirm. There is a lot of hopelessness coming out. This is like the Sisyphean struggle of investigating crimes that will never be solved, problems that will never be fixed, mysteries that will never be answered, harm that will never be stopped. After a while, it's enough to drive a man mad, or to drinking, as the case may be. Perhaps both. I think that's what we're supposed to get out of this.
See? These pigs are fucking corrupt.
The boy nods approvingly. I do love that Kuno, who reads lots and lots of books, has read books about this enough to understand what is happening between the lines. Kim isn't saying this. He's not straight up saying, we won't write that down because we don't want to deal with it. But he's saying that. And Kuno, who doesn't have the direct life experience to necessarily understand that himself, has not first-hand experience that lets him understand what's being said. I find that entertaining and interesting.
Why don't you fuck him if you love him so much?
Oh my god. Yeah, because to be fair, Kuno has been really excited about calling me his pig. And he's excited about this. I think Kuno's really excited to see a murder mystery being investigated, just like something out of one of his books. That's so cool. That's interesting. I find that interesting. What a character moment. Of course, she's going to pull him out of it and make him start acting up again because that's what she does.
Now, injuries.
Or we could just ignore that. Okay. 1, bite marks.
Head, chest and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted.
I assume that's somebody who studies bites from teeth. Orthodontist. That has to do with teeth, I think. But in this case, it's bird bites. Birds don't technically have teeth. Right? They have beaks, but do they have teeth? Because hen teeth is like a thing that you talk about, but I think it's that they don't exist. But I could be wrong. I'm not really a bird person. They have tongues. I know birds have tongues. Curvy chompers. Now, I'm really cool. I'm the coolest person that ever lived. Aren't you in awe of the coolness that you're witnessing right here? Okay, we're gonna write this down. Geese have teeth. Geese would have teeth, wouldn't they? Ooh, serrated beak edges. Okay, so they have things in their beaks that maybe look like teeth but aren't technically teeth. Teeth on their tongues. Okay, Crony, what kind of unholy monstrosity are we talking about? Is that a goose? Oh, jeez. Don't mess with a goose. Okay, geese have teeth on their tongues. That sounds like the sort of unholy abomination I would expect from a goose. All right. Write it down.
And your opinion, officer?
Beneath the description, there are 2 boxes waiting to be ticked. Either A, opinion, fatal injury, or B, non-fatal post-mortem. I guess, yeah, I'm not really an expert on animals. I will say, I have thought many a time as I looked at a yawning cat, oh, that mouth looks almost like a snake's mouth. Like there's something about the shape of it. And it turns out, like, I think there was some culture that historically thought that snakes and cats were related because of the shape of the mouth and their teeth, which is great. Or it's like, it's not just me. It's me and them. But I don't have a lot of experience with animals. I don't know exactly how their teeth go. Sheep's head fish has human-looking teeth. Okay, that just sounds like you're making up an animal. I'm sorry. Amazing. Oh no. Oh no. This is cursed knowledge. I'm gonna have nightmares about tongue teeth on geese. Nature is wild. That is true, Ampy. Alright, I'm going to assume that the bird bites are non-fatal post-mortem. He did not get bird bitten to death.
Agreed. Next injury?
2 contusions.
So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
Okay, Kuno has to respond to this with excitement. Hey, hear that? See, I'm a perpetrator. I hope he says something like that. We'll find out.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Okay, well, he's enjoying this. He is so excited that he gets to be part of the crime scene. What? He is witnessing this. He is part of it. It's like a book. It does add an interesting nuance to his personality and his presence in the story to have that context to understand his reaction here. You know?
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Thank you, Kim. That's really funny. This feels like comic relief to me because I'm laughing, but I think the others were supposed to be. All right.
The lieutenant's admission has caused great gratitude in Kuna. He is silent with it.
I'm so happy that just happened. Empathy and I are on the same page. I'm so glad. This is really satisfying. I was right. Write it down. Oh, really? Well, this is me being all pleased with myself for my empathy roll. Interesting, Jason. Well, I mean, everybody's playthrough is different, right? I'm going to write it down.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
A, opinion, fatal injury. B, non-fatal post-mortem. I think that's pretty safe to say that the kid did not. Thanks, Lily. Yes, you are not wrong. I was very pleased. I was glad that I was like, oh, Kuno's having fun being part of this, and then the game's like, Kuno's having fun being part of this, and I'm like, ah, and I high five the game, and then we do a little dance. Anyway, non-fatal post-mortem, I think, is safe to say.
Right. Next.
What's the fourth injury field for?
Nothing. Just in case.
In case we learn more later. I don't know. The thing is with this game, wait, hold on. What is that? Folks, I'm going to draw your attention to right over here on the game screen. There is some graffiti on that wall behind Kuno S. I don't know if I looked at that yet in game. Did I look at that yet in game? I'm sorry, I'm looking at it over here. What is that? It kind of looks like the loading screen art to me. Graffito, yes. It is a singular object of graffito. But I am too American to use the words right, so it can be graffiti. Well, to me, looking at it from here, it seems to resemble the loading screen of the game. But also, when you have very few things to guess what something is, you try to force it to fit one of the few things that you know. This is what happens when I try to make sense of a language that I don't really speak. All right. Turn the page back.
The corpse lay slouched to the side, oblivious to its surroundings.
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
Okay, yeah, no.
Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my...
Alright. Bite marks, contusions on head and chest, and the ligature mark encircling the neck.
Continue.
Be thorough if you want maximum results.
Reaction speed wants to make sure that you are thorough. Do we want to finish the autopsy, folks? Oh, thank you. I bleached it. I was going to dye it purple, but I haven't dyed it purple yet. I haven't done purple before. So it was either going to be purple or it was going to be magenta, but I have this very dark purple that my sister's roommate couldn't use, so they gave it to me. Shall we finish this autopsy? I've been as thorough as I can. I picked all of the options that I could. Except for maybe trying to take his boots off. That's the only thing I haven't done, and Kim would yell at me. Alright, I think we're going to go for it. Alright, ligature mark, finish the autopsy.
A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact.
Okay.
I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Yeah, it's the no signs of clawing on the neck that make me think that either this didn't kill him or he was in another state. Write it down.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
They misread. It actually reads, the man's head jerks to the side, awaiting your judgment. The ring around his neck is visible.
Think for a moment. There's time. Don't rush.
I don't think that this is what did him in. But I don't know what did. There's no sign on his hands of a recent struggle, and there's no sign around his neck of him clawing at it. Those two facts make me think that he was not hanged to death. And I can say that with more confidence because I did do the thing where I touched his hand, which opened up a sweet moment that I appreciate. But also, I did not seem to notice. I had thought that maybe there was something I didn't notice about his hands showing a struggle. But Kim specifically mentions, I expected to see signs of a struggle, and there wasn't signs of a struggle. There's no indication that he was... Awaiting my judgment, I will give you my judgment. I may be totally incorrect here, and that's fine because I am not a detective. I am just an overthinking video gamer. However, if we assume that this man he is a fighter. He is essentially, for all intents and purposes, a soldier. He has scars on him indicating that he has been in war, as Kim put it, I believe. He has soldier's armor on. He very clearly is an experienced fighter in phenomenal physical shape that it looks like he could, frankly, I can swear on the stream, he could kick anyone's ass in a fight. He is enormous. We suspect it took multiple people just to haul him up there, judging by the feet that we saw there. So this is a large, strong, powerful, experienced fighter. And they hang him. He doesn't fight them prior to being hanged. He doesn't fight and try to protect himself from being hanged when there's a noose around his neck. No. A man who is this experienced a fighter, who is struggling with people on the ground, is going to be fighting with them. There's going to be signs of an altercation of some sort. Not old scars, but recent bruising, scraping, something indicating that the conflict has happened. Or if they had bound him or something so he couldn't fight, we would see evidence of that on him. We would see like his wrists or something showing, because there would be scuff marks or something, friction, anything of him trying to get out. If he were conscious and alive at the time of the hanging, if he were conscious, alive, and in control of his facilities at the time of the hanging, we would see some sort of desperate sign of struggle. There are none that we have noticed. Therefore, okay, I don't know forensic, but therefore, if we have seen, Kim says there are only marks on his neck, and specifically says that there are no marks on his hand of combat. If you punch somebody, even if your hands are used to punching somebody, it is going to be visible in the skin of your hands, unless you're wearing gloves or something like that. So it's possible that the man was gloved, but if he was gloved, we would see something, because when people are dying, they are desperate. So the absence of those two things indicates to me, I don't think that he was alive or conscious or in control of his facilities. One of those things was not, like he might have been alive but unconscious. He might have been alive but like unable to like control himself, even if they could have basically like paralyzed him, or something like that. So he's conscious and alive. Or he could just have been dead. But those are... like, if he was either unconscious or drugged to paralysis or something like that, then yes, it is possible that having his neck broken like that and the suffocation... I think it's usually the neck break that does it, not the suffocation. That the hanging would have killed him. But I don't think so. I think it's something else. I don't actually know anything about being a detective, but I'm going to say non-fatal postmortem. The lieutenant falls silent abruptly. Yeah, because his neck, cervical column intact, so his neck's not even broken. So, but his windpipe got crushed. Which would be suffocation of a sort.
He is deep in thought, eyes fixed on the bright red ring around the dead man's neck.
Why do you say that?
Either I just took a whack in the dark, or I'm serious. I don't think this was the injury that killed him.
Okay. Why don't you think it was fatal?
Okay, this is fun. 1, I arrived at this conclusion through the psychic arts. 2, I can't shake the feeling he was doing something else when he died. 3, why weren't his hands tied? A big man like this, I would tie his hands when marching him to the gallows. 3, there is no reason. It's just a random guess. Why weren't his hands tied is one question.
Honestly, I'm not sure there weren't marks on his wrist. That part got blurry for me. Stench. But you are right, I was ready to call this. Now I think we should leave it empty, at least for the time being.
Yeah. Because there might have been marks on the wrist. But there are enough things that don't quite seem to line up that I would like to leave it empty and investigate further. So that's what I'm going to say.
Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
He produces a small black plastic roll from his jacket, a body bag. I'm going to say first, how did it go?
It was an irregular field autopsy. We did not establish cause of death, which is supposed to be the goal of an autopsy. But, personally, I do not see this as a parameter for success.
Okay.
We requested a test to be run on the genitals. That was the règle. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks if we are lucky. I will not hold my breath.
Oh, okay. I guess Kim was like, no, we're just going to go with the original idea. All right, what else?
We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
I suspect that it probably could have gone a lot better, but that's fine. We got what we got out of it, and that's how it is. All right, what now? I like that you get additional experience to ask how it went.
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg.
Rip out a copy of the autopsy pages. So he won't see any of the weird things that I wrote because I didn't write them because I'm boring and a spoil sport. Yeah, no, I think Kim was overall reasonably satisfied with it. Rip out a copy of the autopsy pages.
For processing.
He looks at the dead man one more time, then at the slip of red paper in his hand, then at the corpse again.
He's thinking, did I miss something?
Yeah. Before we say this is done, we want to make sure.
I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something.
Didn't establish probable cause. I'm gonna save. If I leave right now, I can save and then come back to this, right? We're going to investigate a little further. You want to see my stats? Sorry, that's the wrong button. This is what we're working with right here. All right, so perception is that one right there. Yeah, I know, right? It is tempting, isn't it? I might have some perception enhancing clothes, but I also am going to go back and look at the body a little bit deeper. Let's see, what have we got? I don't. Because you better believe I'm going to give that a try. No, excellent resolution, please. If I fail, putting a point in perception lets me retry. True, Justin, true. What did I do with the body prior to getting him off the tree? Well, I shot him in the lungs. Apparently. But please do not ask me leading questions and things like that. If you have questions that will tie into other ways that the story could go, we have a channel on our Discord where people who are familiar with the game can discuss with each other, where I will not see what is being discussed. And so you can all kind of be like, oh my god, did she do this thing? Did she see this thing? Did she... whatever. So feel free to take it there. If you want to have that conversation, because I suspect that's kind of the direction you want to go.
The man is decomposing visibly now. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Oh, I can't look in his mouth. Let's see what happens. Let's try to remove the dead man's boots.
I thought we decided to leave it to processing. Let's not turn this into some kind of circus.
Okay.
Okay, so you can sneak out of your room maybe, after he's gone to sleep.
Okay. Because I didn't look deeper in the mouth, and there are a few other things that I didn't do, so we cannot... we're as good as we're going to get. It's probably not going to work. Probably not going to work. But we can try it.
You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough.
Look under his fingernails like Kim already did.
His fingernails have turned dark. They're chipped and quite long. There is dirt under them. That's all.
Quite long is really interesting. Does that mean that he normally wore gloves? Because you don't want to have long fingernails if you're punching people. It's a hazard. It's a liability. Because you're, like, making a fist, like, ideally when you make a fist, like the big thing is to make sure that you don't break any of the bones in your hand, but that doesn't stop these from going into your flesh if they're really long. It's going to potentially punch, and the pressure of that, like, the likelihood of cutting or hurting yourself there. I don't know.
Do you think we missed something?
I'm just looking.
You can't shake the feeling that there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you.
So I can either say, yes, there's something we're not seeing, or I've got a gut feeling that there's more to this corpse, or no, let's just leave it to the processing guys. Hold on, what is the difference between 1 and 2 here? There's something we're not seeing, or a gut feeling that there's more to this corpse. I'm going to say there's something we're not seeing.
Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination, and we need to do it fast.
Okay, where do we find a fridge for the body?
Hey, wasn't there a giant ice bear sarcophagus below that building?
He points to the commercial area. Oh my god. Oh my god, guys. Oh my god. That's amazing. Why, yes, there was. An absolutely colossal fridge, still plugged in, literally in the shape of an ice bear. So that's what the ice bear shaped refrigerator is for. Amazing. Giant ice bear sarcophagus is such a good phrase. 2. Yes, 3 is very meta. 1 and 2 are both really funny. Okay, that means we have to make sure we don't cut the power. It's true. What else would an ice bear fridge? It seems like a strange thing, but I don't think I asked myself, why is there an ice bear fridge in this game? But perhaps I should have, because it turns out there's an answer. I feel like this first one is playing to Kim's sense of humor. Why, yes, there was. I think so. Amazing. Like, all of these are good answers. Right now, because I suspect that all of these are to say, yes, we're going to do this. Bonus. Which one do we think is going to make Kim even happier? Oh my god, I can't believe we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to put that body in the ice bear refrigerator. So we can be like, why, yes, there was. If that's the intended delivery, which is what it feels like. Or an absolutely colossal fridge, still plugged in, literally in the shape of an ice bear. I feel like Kim prefers the understated, though. I think both of them are going to be like, yes. The thing is, I'm afraid of one being like, yeah, I guess so. Which is not the tone I want. I want to put the hat on and ask if one is delivered in a matter-of-fact way or in an understated comedy kind of way. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm sorry. I'm going to do it. Is one delivered in an understated meant to be funny way or in a very matter-of-fact way? Because I think that the understated sense of humor one is more Kim, and so if that's how it's delivered, if anybody knows how it's delivered, I don't know why I have to know this, but I want to. Okay, all right, well, apparently the rest of you did not go shoving your dead bodies in a giant ice bear refrigerator. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna go with dry humor and see if we can have a moment with Kim. I am so astonished. Yeah, it feels like he's grinning and you give him a knowing smirk and then you're like, yeah. Okay, let's go with this. Let's go with 1 because it feels like the most Kim.
Now, detective, I've rarely been disappointed by the size of a giant ice bear fridge, but I think we should still take a look at it first. Make sure it's big enough before we carry him over.
Oh god, I hope nobody steals the body while we're down there.
Let's move. With every hour, whatever we are looking for in the deceased will become harder to find.
This is exactly what I wanted to have happen here. This is incredible. We're gonna make it. Okay, we got an autosave. Sweet. All right, autosave. Oh my god. Send victim's body to processing. Once you're done with it, send the corpse to processing. Lieutenant Kitsuragi will take care of it. Check twice to see whether you're done with all corpse-related tasks. After you've sent the body away, you can't take it back. We're gonna do this first, obviously, Jessen, and then we'll go talk to Martin. The bear is more important. Fridge, victim's body. You need to buy yourself more time to find whatever you're missing in the corpse. A fridge would allow you to preserve the body longer. Ask the Whirling, Fritz, or maybe Kuno or some other local kids. No, I don't think I will. Check out the fridge in the commercial building across from the Whirling. Good night, Nick. Thanks for joining us. Fridge, the victim's body. That's just so great. Okay, we did autosave, so we're gonna go down just in case somebody steals the body. I have to go beat them up. Or get beaten up by them, let's be real. There's a shortcut. This is a shortcut, right? Pretty sure this is a shortcut down into the basement area. That's why there's a shortcut down into the basement area. Oh. Yeah, that's why there's a shortcut down into the basement area. There was a thing we didn't do down here. I don't remember what it was. Here's our giant bear fridge. Hello, giant bear fridge.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red, watching over all the ice cream wrappers hidden inside its face.
Oh, they're totally, it was a question, literally the game. So apparently, because my memory is clearly still not better, apparently we did in fact ask, what is a giant bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place? This is incredible. So what do you think of this fridge, Kim? It looks big enough for 2 corpses.
It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it is capacious and cold enough, too.
But the optics on this are awful, he thinks. We need to be as silent as we can.
Interesting.
Your visual confirms you could fit 2 more bodies in the ice bear fridge.
I sure hope we don't have to do that.
Shall we go and get the body, then? I'll take the head, you take the feet. The stairs won't be easy, but we'll manage.
Okay, let's do this. Clap your hands.
The body is heavier than you expected and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get it down to the basement, then 10 more minutes to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork.
Okay, so the noise there was too loud. So I'm going to read that out loud for you in case you happen to be listening and you were trying to turn that up and you're like, what was that? The noise was too loud. The body is heavier than you expected and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get it down to the basement, then 10 more minutes to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork.
Beautiful. A dead body in a nice bear fridge. This is some of the best police work I've ever done.
I'm sorry. Okay, so my options are either really you think it's good work or I'm not sure I believe you. This is incredible. This game is weird, folks. It's a little bit surreal. And we haven't even gotten fully into the Pale yet. Are you ready? I mean, what a day. Shoving a dead body into a giant polar bear ice cream fridge. And then we're going to go talk to Joyce some more about the Pale tonight. They were storing ice crime in the fridge. And that's why they went bankrupt. Oh no, that's incredible. Yeah, this could be post-autopsy comedy relief. Amazing. Okay. Really, you think it's good work? Or I'm not sure I believe you. We're going to have to be careful because somebody could unplug this fridge. So we're going to have to keep an eye on it. Because we had the option to unplug this fridge, which we're not going to do. I almost wonder if I should go talk to Neha and tell her not to unplug the fridge, please. Okay, so really, you think it's good work? Wiping his hands and his handkerchief. Oh, Kim. I know she hasn't done it so far, but like, should we like bribe the child not to tell anyone? He was so excited though, like, so excited. I'm really happy about that whole turn of events. Kuno is outside of my comfort zone, and I'm really not sure how to get through to him, but having that little moment was nice. I should probably actually pick an answer. I'm sorry, I got distracted. Okay. Dead body in an ice bear fridge. This is some of the best police work I've ever done. Really? You think it's good work? I'm not sure I believe you. So you think it's good work?
No, not really. Look at that. What have we done? We stuffed a dead body in an ice bear fridge. This story does not leave this room.
I think this is a glorious achievement and people need to hear about it. We did our best with the means at our disposal. Yeah, I'm not proud either, but we did find a fridge. This isn't police work, Kim. It's art. We're artists, and this was our vision. Sorry. You have to deal with me. I can't act well, but I can act badly well. It's a skill, man. It's a skill. Obviously, because I am a wet blanket, we're going to go with either 2 or 3. Because I'm a wet blanket. And I don't choose clown shoes options most of the time. I get the feeling that most people who play this game lean into the weirdness. And that's why people get really uncomfortable sometimes with the fact that I don't. It's like, why are you so boring, Laura? And I'm like, look. I am what I am. And that is a wet blanket with an excessively active sense of rhetoric, an encyclopedia, occasional functional empathy, and I don't even know, inland empire that marches to the beat of its own drum. Yes, there you go. I am providing an important service of being the wet blanket when everyone else is clown shoes, so that you may have the experience of the wet blanket answers without having to sacrifice yourself and avoid the incredible clown shoes experience that you're accustomed to. How's that? Providing a community service here. That's me. That's me. All right. We did our best with the means at our disposal. I think that's the best answer. I'm going to go with that because I'm really boring.
Did we though? Okay, maybe we did.
Kim does not approve of this.
At least we've stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct another inspection under controlled circumstances.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. I wonder if this is easier. I wonder if the autopsy is easier if you do it on the first day. We'll never know.
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped, waiting.
Those are some odds. Those are some much better odds. I refrigerated the body. Now my odds are up to 1 in 4. Thanks, Ice Bear. And I have points. I could do this. We could investigate this body. Done. Fridge the victim's body. Hell yeah, I did. Getting the body down. Go to the yard and see what measure had accomplished. Just the way that's written. Okay. Sweet. I have 3 whole skill points. I did get, like, the better part of a level off of that, didn't I? I mean, I got a level and then... No, did I get 2 levels? No. Yes? I'm not sure. The best detective in the world. That's me. Even without them, I have a 1 in 3 chance. That's true. Use cocaine to commune with the bear spirit and learn what you are missing. Maybe. 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 All right. Well. We're going to save. Maybe we should give it a try and see what happens. Oh, why not? I mean, we have to go meet Martinaise. Maybe it's too late to meet Martinaise. It's now, what, 10 o'clock? I think we're supposed to go there after 8? I'm not sure. Yeah, but I kind of want to finish this. And I now have a 1 in 4 chance of getting it without even having to put a point into a thing. After 9. Okay, well, it's 10:30. The thing is, I am concerned that somebody is going to turn off the power to the body if I wait too long. Or something like that's going to occur. Well, I'm thinking. I'm making silly faces. No. Nobody else had been down here in a while except for Neha. It's a freezer, technically not a fridge. I know I said we were going to go do Martinaise. I wonder whether 11 p.m. is too late. I'm thinking. Do we want to go and start Martinaise tonight? Do we want to give the dead body one more try? Because we've got a 28% chance of maybe getting it. And then leave and come back and maybe put a point in perception and try again later? Thinking Lauren emoji, yeah. I guess we could go do something that isn't the autopsy for now. I feel like you ought to be able to save your, like, name your saves. We could do both. Yeah, like, well, the thing is, like, we could try right now. We could try it and then come back. Maybe Martin goes by quick. What are the odds? What are the odds that talking to Martinaise is going to go quickly? But I do want to see where that goes, so. Okay. Save slot. All right. So, like, I grew up on King's Quest, and you have to name your saves in King's Quest. Naturally, they're magnificent. You can be sure. We put the body in the freezer, bear freezer. Is there a portmanteau we can do about a bear freezer? I think there was another door, but I'm not taking it. Freezer. I feel like that's not an extinct genus of the bear family. Yes. The Klondike. Oh man, this music. Balcony is what we want, if I remember correctly. Oh, check it out. Here's the dude. Bear tick, like Arctic, but with bear. Okay, that'll do. The polar fridge. Okay, we're getting there. We got some stuff going on. Polar storage, polar fridge. We're working on it. We can workshop that. We'll get there. Oh, well, okay. It's already a Pokemon. Not everything that needs to be said needs to be heard. No bear land. That's great. Bears land, and no bears land. Thank you, humanity. You're good at naming things just like me. Yeah. Martinaise it's a great name. He says that, and I'm like, man, even I can tell that that's not your real name. All right, Ursa Morg. Okay. All right. That's pretty good. Can't believe we put the dead body in the bear freezer. Apparently that's not... I feel that despite not being a clown shoes person, I wound up finding probably the most clown shoes place to store the body. I think. All right. Scary how many people don't have anyone to talk to. That is an observation. That is true. Of course I've thought about quitting, but for what? That's right. He's totally shirtless. Well, I mean, he's got his like overshirt, but he's got an overshirt. He's not got a shirt on, you know. There's a lot of shirtlessness happening there, if I remember correctly. All right. He's looping. Shall we do this? Shall we talk to Martinaise? Let's do it. Hello, fella. I recognized you from your shirtlessness. I thought, wow, deep down everyone is lonely. Yeah, okay. What is it that you do? Okay, somebody asked me to like speculate about what the deal is with him. Okay, so unfortunately my memory's not very good. So don't remember much except he witnessed potentially something, or has been aware potentially of something to do with the murder, especially given the placement of his apartment overlooking the backyard. But he would not talk to me because he could be seen. I don't have clients, only friends. Okay. I was wondering. There was something about what he said that made me think he might be some sort of an escort, a sex worker, or something like that, which he might not be. He might be something else. I don't know. But the way that he's talking now kind of seems to indicate that he... Because when he says, I don't have clients, only friends, like it's possible that he's... Sometimes people go to sex workers for companionship because they don't have like unpaid companionship, and so sometimes people kind of just want intimacy and to talk and hang out, as I understand it, and that is a service that people can provide, and so what he's saying could be in line with that, or not. Maybe he's a therapist and he listens to people instead, but let's find out, because I don't remember what it was that he had said, I think, in his previous conversation, but there was something he talked about that made me think that might be something he's connected to, but I'm not sure. So he definitely gave me a fake name. He was very evasive, and then I pressed him and I picked the right dialogue options and he opened up. Did I kind of call on his sense of like doing what's best for the neighborhood by catching a killer or something like that? Like what did I do? What did I say that got Martinaise to decide to talk to me? Because I feel like he didn't want to. I passed an empathy check. But what was it that I said or did that prompted the empathy check? I'm trying to remember that. I feel like it was something about... Yeah, I'm just here to make things okay. I wanted to make things right. Yeah. So calling on his sense of empathy, and even if it was a suggestion role. Yeah. Let us make sure that I've got my clothes on right for this. I've got this, which raises my empathy, lowers my authority. This is exactly what I want. Visual calculus goes up, drama goes down. What are my other classes do? +1 logic, -1 authority. Maybe could have used logic to see more about the body, but that's fine. Don't want electrochemistry. I don't want my cops. Suggestion, negative half-light. I like shivers, but I think that suggestion will probably do me more good here. I depend on rhetoric. Oh, what does half-light do again? I can never remember. What is half-light? Fight or flight? At low levels, your survival instinct is lacking. Your method slip-wristed. Those who respect violence will not respect you. I don't feel like he is... From what little I gathered of Martinaise, I don't think that he is somebody who respects violence. I really do need new pants. Yeah, but if he's about to ambush me, then I'm just gonna die. That's just how it goes. My Ocelot has all of the physical integrity of a piece of wet construction paper. So, yeah, I just don't care about authority. I don't like it, so I make it go away. Do I have another shirt? Okay, conceptualization goes up, suggestion goes down. Physical instrument. Actually, I think that I'm going to want to not have suggestion go down talking to this guy. Just get that vibe. Oh, or I could put on drama. Oh, shoot. I was scared of putting that on, not being able to take it off. +1 drama. Clinically insane. Okay, but you can change it. Okay. Not that you can see it underneath my shirt or underneath my jacket, but I know it's there. Do I want to have drama or the white tank top? Physical instrument or drama? Sorry, this is important stuff. We're going to have a conversation. Yeah. What did I just do? Suggestion is up. Authority is down. Drama is still pretty low. The thing is, I want drama, actually. I want drama. Because it'll help me understand what this guy's doing. Because I think that he will put forth a false front if he wants to, potentially. So yeah, I think we're going to go with this. I think I'm good. I'm going to save the game. And we're going to name it... I'm sorry. Now that I know how to name my saves, the world is never going to be the same. Are you ready? You ready to do this, folks? You ready? Let's do it. He's leaning. He's got a lean going on. Let's talk to him, and then we're going to go do the body. Yes, all saves are going to get named. No, I'm not joking, Blue Glass. I'm going to name every save from now on. I just am. Then life is going to be better? Question mark. I love it. Okay, no, I've been wanting to since I started, but I didn't think to mention it. So, Let's see what this fellow does. If he's a sex worker doing what he does for the good of his clients, or if he has a different career path. Let's find out.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
The young man on the balcony gives you a bright smile before taking another drag from his cigarette. Oh, he's talking to me. He's calling me a cop. I know that. From reading Les Mis, I think. In English, of course. My French is not that good.
His slender figure is backlit by city lights, its distant streets and motorways flashing like diamonds.
Conceptualization is like, this is a very, very, very much a city person. He is, there's a word for it. There's a word for things to do with a city. I can't think of what it is, though. My vocabulary is failing me.
It feels like a Friday. He seems to be in a good mood tonight.
Urban, no. I can't think of it. If I think of it. Metropolitan, that's it. Metropolitan. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. He's very metropolitan. It feels like a Friday. I like that. I like that observation. Because you can tell, like, the idea of, like, a Friday where there's this lightness that somebody has. We got your hint. Found the key right under that stone.
Beautiful.
He replies, smiling. As he looks at you, something sparkles in his eyes.
So tell me, are you here to make things right again?
He has such a gentle voice. All right. 1, that's what I'm aiming for, yes. 2, honestly, I'm just trying to not screw anything up. 3, I'm not going to make things just right. I'm going to make them spectacular. Or you could ignore his question and say, I was hoping to talk to a possible witness. Your balcony overlooks the murder scene. Obviously, I'm going to pick something reassuring. I'm sorry, I'm really boring. Part of me wants to be like, I'm going to make things spectacular. But I don't actually think that's reassuring. And as exciting as that is, and as much as maybe that appeals to my sense of drama, my own sense of empathy says that won't actually reassure anyone. And I would like to reassure this man who is speaking in such a gentle and concerned voice. So. All right. That's what I'm aiming for, yes? Honestly, I'm just trying to not screw anything up. No. I'm gonna try to be... Ocelot is pulling himself together. And he's like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Okay, I'm gonna do this. That's what I'm aiming for, yes.
Beautiful.
He says again. A nearby street lamp casts shadows on his chin, drawing out the slender cheekbones. They really want you to see him, like his physicality, the impression of him, a painting of him. Not all of the characters that you speak with get that, but they really have a strong sense of his physical presence that they want to convey.
I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
He nods towards door number 28. My Sunday friend. I can say, by the way, I'm really digging the view here. Point to the city skyline. Is it Friday tonight? It feels like Friday. Okay, so I can ask a bunch of questions and then go on to talk to his friend. We're going to do the ones that aren't proceed first, and we're going to start from the top because I've got no reason not to pick them. All right. By the way, I'm really digging the view here. Point to the city skyline. Let's see what he has to say about that.
Mm-hmm. That's why I chose this place. Martinaise is special, isn't it?
He looks away, his cigarette end glowing in the dark. They had a very, very strong idea of what they wanted his voice to sound like. You can tell in the careful delivery.
Wait. Suddenly you are digging things?
The lieutenant whispers to you, shaking his head. All right, I'm gonna let that one go for now. Is it Friday tonight? It feels like Friday.
Yeah, it does feel like the end of the week. Such gentle weather.
Wait, who exactly is visiting you?
My Sunday friend. He's brilliant. Everyone wants to meet my Sunday friend. You'll see.
His smile even wider than before. Oh God. This is probably not great. Why would I want to meet your friend?
Trust me, you do.
That's not ominous, is it? I want to like and trust this guy, but I can like him and withhold my trust. Very well, I'll talk to him first. I'll talk to him. But first I want to talk to you. I have so many questions.
That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
Wonderful. Good. Okay.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark, and the neighboring windows have lit up, one by one.
It is pretty dark, actually. Continue.
Besides, I've got to run.
Wonderful, you're going to leave me in the care of your Sunday friend. Great.
He's going to leave you alone again. That's sad.
Ocelot? Ocelot really likes him. Run where? But I just found you again. Go, if you must. I don't care. I don't care about people leaving me all the time. I wonder if that's because I put the shirt on. Yeah. There's just a little bit, and the way that Kim's like, are you? And I'm like, I don't know, Kim. He might be. He might be interested in this fella. Maybe so. Living in a big city is neat. I live in one now. Not right now. I'm in the suburbs visiting my family in a completely different country, but I do like living in the big city. My favorite thing about Toronto is that I live in downtown Toronto and can go do everything. Anytime I set foot outside of my apartment building, there's always people out walking around doing things. There's always things happening. There's all these universities nearby and parks nearby. There's a lot of music and events happening if it's not winter. Like, it's remarkably alive, but it's not so much that it's too much the way New York City is. It's like New York City, but scaled back to a level that's just right for me, and also more polite. I think, despite having been born to a Brooklynite and a Canadian, I think I take more after the Canadian. Hmm. 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 Run where? I just found you again. I think that this might be up to no good, actually. I'm gonna say run where? I'm gonna be boring. Thing is, like, his filling the air dialogue has to do with loneliness. And so if I reveal my loneliness, I don't even care if people leave me all the time. I don't know, maybe that'll work. I don't know. I'm gonna ask, run where?
To the city. It's a beautiful night.
He gestures idly toward distant motorways. And say, only if you promise that we'll talk again. It's important. Ocelot? It may be that the descriptions that they are giving are not because they have a strong image of him that they want to convey, so much as that there is an impression of him that they want to convey that Ocelot has. If that makes sense. The way that you describe... When you're writing fiction... I'm sorry. I gotta do this. Welcome, Zorbrad. Welcome. I'm enjoying it. I am. It's a very interesting experience. One of the things that I found very, very helpful at some point earlier in my writing career was somebody telling me that the narration choices that you make are not arbitrary, and you shouldn't just you should be more aware of the choices that you're making and how they reflect not just what you want the author to see, but what your character sees, thinks, feels. So a fun exercise is try to describe a room from the point of view of somebody who is feeling afraid, angry, excited. The same room, the same situation, but see what details would you pull out? What words would you use? What comparisons would you make to convey being in that mindset instead of just describing the world like you're looking at it as a photograph? Put a little bit more of the viewer, or I guess the character's perspective into the writing of it. And it's actually very effective. It's very useful. It's a thing that I had fun when I was working on my Final Fantasy VI fanfic, because I have these two characters with wildly different outlooks. And so often I really enjoy having them in each section describe the same thing, and you can see how differently they each interpret it based on who they are. It's a fun exercise. I definitely recommend doing so. Thanks, Blue Glass. Yes, you can read the fanfic. At some point I might post the next chapter. Somebody left me a very lovely comment saying they would sell their soul for an update. That shouldn't be necessary. It'll come eventually. Alright, so I'm going to say only if you promise that we'll talk again. It's important.
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words.
Yeah, okay. Alright. Uh-huh. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
We'll talk. Just not tonight.
The smoker assures you, brushing his hand through the hair.
Take care, alright?
He says with another disarming smile before slipping off into the night. I like the thought of Ocelot's professionalism being kind of called into question by this beautiful person who has attracted him and is holding his attention. I think that's a nice humanizing detail.
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
Oh my god, some Dragons, that is the appropriate thing to say about the situation. Who among us has not been disoriented by a twink? Yes, you are observing the situation correctly, I think, for poor Mr. Ocelot here. I don't know, Galactic Punter, that's not what the internet has told me. Alright. So I can either say, he's always leaving. Why is he always leaving, Kim? Or, there's something so different about him that I just can't put my finger on. Or, let's go, Kim, we have to interview his Sunday friend. Okay, so I wonder, if this were set in our world, I would say that the Sunday friend should have something to do with religion. So maybe this is some sort of his code name for somebody who's affiliated with priesthood or something, but I don't actually know. I'm going to pick number 2 because I like the thought of Ocelot being completely clueless about what's happening to him, which feels like the way that they're writing this feels as though Ocelot has no idea what's happening, and Kim sees it, and obviously Martinaise knows. But Martinaise presumably inspires that in a lot of people, and so that's just par for the course. For me, that feels like an elegantly done and very believable bit of characterization. And it's neat because while it is something that I'm choosing, Ocelot's lack of awareness of it makes it feel more like it's arising from him innately versus something that I'm choosing in that regard, like to that degree, if that makes sense. Like, it feels like this is the way that Ocelot would feel this way. This is the way that Ocelot would react to this. This is the way that Ocelot would be obliviously attracted to somebody. Instead of, I have decided that my Ocelot is going to romance this person. You know, it feels in keeping with him and less of an executive decision on my part and more of like kind of peeling back a few layers and letting that be what emerges. Well, resolution plays, I thought I was straight for a great many years. I'm not at all. I was married to a man, but I'm gay. That's a fun discovery. Yes, and Aerith was there to put all of that out on stream for everyone. I know, right? Shocking, isn't it? Oh, man. I do like girls. No, that's true. But I wonder, because I don't know exactly how, and maybe they've gone over this before and I have forgotten. I think that they've gone over this before and I've forgotten, unfortunately, because like Harry, Ocelot, I also have memory issues and brain problems. I did not drink my way to this problem, which is good. But I feel like we've talked a little bit about the Freetag Girls magazine, where I was trying to have him be like, I'm not homophobic. And she was like, are you a creepy old man who just wants to watch lesbians? Which is not what I anticipated. Because I forgot, I think, briefly that I was a weird, leering old man in this game. And I was thinking about me as Lauren. Visibly, probably not straight. So I think that it is more progressive, younger people are more okay and accepting of it, I think, in this world. But I don't think it's completely without... Like, I think that it's not fully accepted without baggage. I think that there's still, like, an old guard who's less accepting and a new, like, the new people, the younger people who are more accepting. So Ocelot's age makes it so that I think that he may perhaps not have had such an awakening before. There's something so different about him that I just can't put my finger on.
Different, of course.
Ocelot. Is it correct terminology to say that he is down bad? Is that correct? Is that how we say this? That's really cute. Okay. It's such a mystery. Okay, I didn't realize that down horrendous was like the emphasized version of down bad. That's great. Incredible. I'm going to read these options out loud for anyone who's listening without looking at the screen for whatever reason, so that you can have the context of why we are laughing affectionately at Ocelot's expense. His shirt. Why is his shirt always unbuttoned? I did comment on his shirtlessness, didn't I? He's such a good listener. I liked talking to him. There's just something so mysterious about the way he talks and moves. He smells good. Why on earth does he smell so good? I have a dumb Lauren moment. When I was discussing when I was kind of on the cusp of like, am I gay or bisexual, having again been married to a man for years and having been in relationships primarily with men at that point, although I had had a couple of girlfriends. So I was working through this, and I was talking to my roommate at the time, who is this extremely sex positive pansexual who was freely and frankly willing to talk about how much she loved things. So I was kind of like working through this. I was like, I've been bi, I've been identifying as bi, and I made some comments about like, well, I mean, when first kisses, like they're really gross. Your first kiss is like really gross and sloppy, and you kind of have to figure it out and find a way to make it work for you. Like, and every time you kiss a new person, like, it's really kind of gross and unpleasant. Like, you read about it in books and it sounds fantastic. But then like you actually have it, and like, your first kiss, you're like, your sloppy, messy, gross, unpleasant first kiss. It's not at all what you think it's going to be like. But you kind of adapt. And she just looked at me, and she was like, because the thing is, I wasn't like, I was like, oh, well, it's like sloppy, haha, it's funny, and then it's better the next time. I was just like, kisses are really gross until you try them. And so she looked at me and she was like, Lauren, what was it like the first time you kissed your girlfriend? To which I, in my absolute magnificent intellectual capability, said, well, but that's different. To which she said, what's different about it, Lauren? Anyway, I got nothing in my defense. Compulsive heteronormativity. It's a hell of a drug. Anyway, yeah, kissing girls is rad. Kissing boys is to be tolerated. Perhaps there is a lesson to be learned in this. Well, I don't know, just girls are soft and pretty, and they've got that hair and eyes, and the way they listen to you, and their voices, and sometimes they dress up really nice, and they smell good. Why is it that the average girl is so much better looking than the average guy? I just don't understand. Do guys just not try? I mean, like, practically any girl, like, yeah, girls are really pretty. Anyway, like, for example, I had a boyfriend in middle school who came, we met at summer camp. It was a writing camp because I'm that kind of a nerd. And that was my first kiss, which was really gross and stomach churning, and I was really disheartened about it. So he came to visit in Texas that summer, and he took his shirt off to go swimming in the pool, and I was just like, oh. And I managed to get out of kissing him that entire visit because I had had my wisdom teeth out earlier that summer. So, nothing against him. I'm sure he's a perfectly lovely young man. But when there's a person you're ostensibly interested in, and your first reaction to seeing them take their shirt off is like, oh, no, put that back on. Turns out that I was just not attracted to men. Nothing wrong with it. It just wasn't. Who knew? Not me. I just thought everybody would rather. I mean, artists talk about how they prefer drawing girls. So obviously the fact that I would rather draw girls in their underwear than a guy ever, that's just what all artists are like, right? Yeah, well, like, the thing is, the question with me has always been, since this kind of thing, is like, am I less ace than I thought I was and more gay? Like, I'm definitely somewhat ace. I'm definitely on the ace spectrum, because when people who are allosexual talk about their experiences, I'm like, no. No. But yeah. So, fun fact, I was the first moderator on the Avon forums. But that didn't last very long because they kicked me out for not being ace enough. That was many years ago. They do not operate like that anymore. But yeah, hello friends. Sorry, I feel like we have to talk about this sort of thing. It's relevant to the game, right? Right? I mean, I do think that sexuality is fluid, but I think that I have a steady history of not being attracted to the men that I was in relationships with and being attracted to women. So, I think in hindsight that made a lot of sense. So, I had no idea, but yeah. Yeah, no, I think the more we talk about this, the more it gets normalized and the more opportunities people have to understand that there are different ways of being and maybe find something that feels like home. And that's when it comes to sexuality and gender identity and things like that, trying to find something that feels like home, I think is really important. That's totally valid. You can date some men. Sometimes you can be like, I have a friend who's like 99% attracted to women, and then she just happened to meet a dude and he's perfect for her, and that's just how it is. And I was like, welcome to, you know, fluidity. That doesn't in any way invalidate your queer feelings, and I've seen people go all sorts of ways like that, so it totally can happen. But for me, I'm happy you're not trying to date men. So it's good. Not that I've necessarily been the best at relationships with girls, but I've got my own stuff to work through. So, a man married to a bisexual woman, I assume, so you can check out girls together. I know people like doing that. But, oh, knowing that she could have been with a girl and she chose you, yeah, I mean, I'm biased, so I don't really have much to, I mean, I have seen girls. Yeah, so anyway, fun times. Which answer, what kind of gay panic should we express with Mr. Ocelot? Oh man, I have an ex-girlfriend who's one of the BTS ARMY stans, and I learned some things about how BTS works because she explained it, because you can't be dating someone who's a BTS stan and not learn a few things. We're still friends. She's really nice. Oh man, I'm gonna stretch a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Which direction we want to go with. Okay. His shirt. Why is his shirt always unbuttoned? So it's interesting, like, these are all ways of being attracted to a person. So one is the physical side of things, being aware, which, like I said, the way that he is described, it feels like the writers are a little in love with him, but it's actually that Ocelot is attracted to him. So this is aware of the physicality of him, which is how the narration describes things. 2 is very much the Lauren answer. Just very good friends, just gal pals. I just really like being around her and listening to her talk and the way that she sees things, and just, I feel safer when we're talking. I feel heard and understood, and she's just so smart and thoughtful and special and passionate, and she cares about things, and I love to hear her talk about the things that she loves. Girls, man. This is like, I like the mysterious, hard to get. No, Ocelot, that's a bad idea. You really shouldn't You really don't need that in your life. You have enough lack of stability. Thanks. He smells good. Why on earth does he smell so good? This is like the most attracted and least aware. This is like the most oblivious. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I'm definitely a 2-person. I actually feel like these are the 2 most Ocelot ones here. For me. I'm gonna go with 4. Because it's the most powerful and most clueless one. And that's interesting. Let's go for that. Regardless of what we choose, we will choose gay confusion. And I'm totally down with that. Yes. He has no explanation for this and no idea why that's going on. And I'm very curious to see how Kim is going to respond. Because Kim knows what's happening. He sees it. Because when you're not aware of what you're doing, you don't know how to mask it. Which is how my stepsister and her husband and I all went out to go watch a dance performance when I was visiting her years ago. And there kept being all these cute girls walking by with cute dresses because they were dressing up to go see this performance. And apparently I wasn't as subtle as I thought, because it was after that my stepsister asked me if maybe I was gay. I don't know, man. I don't know. Just girls. I like them. Anyway. But we're gonna choose that he smells good, because that's the one that I like. It makes me smile the most. They all make me smile. This whole thing makes me smile. Let's go for it.
He smells good.
Oh my god, Kim. The lieutenant squints his eyes, trying to hold back laughter. Oh my god. Okay. This is adorable. This is not the way a homophobic person would respond to this. This is somebody laughing at how adorably clueless this person is being. And that makes me super happy, because you kind of worry a little bit when you don't know for sure. That's precious. That's weird, right? Oh man.
He smells good, and that's weird.
Oh my god, this is delightful. I'm so happy. So that's a ... That's what the sound of a microphone punching in there is. This is a bit of much needed levity. We all needed this. You can have a little homosexuality as a treat after the heaviness of the autopsy. Oh man. They recorded the ellipses to make the point that the ellipses are there. It's like putting crickets in the background or something. Oh, amazing. Thank you, Chrono. I appreciate that quote being saved for posterity. Somebody remember 1722. Oh, man.
Come on, detective. Let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview. His Sunday friend, remember?
He nods at the apartment door before you. That's so cute. That's so cute. Oh my gosh. Well, it is, in fact, perfectly 10 o'clock. So... I believe that's how the saying goes, is it not? There's no mistake, Chrono. It's destiny. What a note to end on. Oh, excuse me. I got it wrong. Oh, Chrono. I got it wrong. That won't do. This is a quote, people. We needed this. We deserved this. All right. So I'm going to say straight up before I shut down. If you are questioning any nature of your identity, whether it is sexuality or gender or some other aspect of who you are, that's totally all right. If there is fluidity where you feel as though you have changed, that's all right and valid. If you feel as though you have a different light that you can shine on the past, as I have, that it is less that you have changed so much as that perhaps you finally understand why things were the way they were, that is also valid. There is a happier place when you allow yourself to look inside yourself and try to figure out what your actual answers are. And it is possible to explore these things and come to the conclusion that you are ending where you started. It's also valid. But yeah, there's a big beautiful world out there, and I know that it's scary and it's not always safe for people to come out for a lot of different circumstances. And so in no way am I telling you that you should absolutely come out under any circumstances, but for yourself and for your own sake, that I hope that if you are seeking answers or suspecting that there might be a question, I hope that you can explore that in a way that feels fulfilling and real to who you are. Because for me, at least, that's been really one of the better things to have come out of the past few years. And I hope for everyone to be able to have that kind of experience, and to have the good of it. Yeah. So in conclusion, yay, gay. Yeah, if you're in the closet instead of the egg, at least you know yourself for yourself. And I hope that some self-love can come with that, even if it's frustrating that can't be necessarily seen and accepted by others. Like, at least you can see and accept yourself for who you are. And you deserve that. You all, just across the board, unreservedly deserve to love who you are and be yourself to yourself and love yourself for who you are. So yeah, take this with you. Take me sending my little like cheerleading love to you. It's not always an easy journey, but we got each other, and that is worth something. Oh, I didn't know that I could be searched for as gay lesbian streamer, but I will take it. Thank you. If you want to see the famed moment of Aerith and the red dress, I've been trying to put together like a YouTube short of that moment just to encapsulate something about my streams. So that might happen. Yeah, we'll be real gay around these parts, and that's okay. It's all right. You can be our token straight like Chrono too. That's all right, Chrono. You know we love you. But yeah, I think that's really all I've got to say. Again, we're going to do a slightly sponsored stream next week where we're going to be using a different microphone, and we're going to talk about it a little bit before and a little bit after, mostly so that I can tell people if this is a good microphone or not, because people ask me all the time what microphone they should get. So we're going to do that. Otherwise, yeah, I think on Tuesday we're going to be starting One Shot over again and see if my memory has some of it, and we will be playing this next Thursday. So yeah, I will talk to you lovely folks later. Bye. Take care of yourselves.